Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. I'd like to call this session of the Border Revision to order and begin by acknowledging that we are on Treaty 1 territory, the home and traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Cree, and Dakota peoples, and the national homeland of the Red River Métis. Our drinking water comes from Shoal Lake 40 First Nation in Treaty 3 territory. My name is Harvey Diamond. I'm chairing this meeting. With me today are Gary Arnall and Frey Branson. The City Assessment Department is represented by Marina Tenawara, and our recording secretary is Jaswinder Kumar. We'll be hearing applications for revision of the assessment rolls in accordance with the Municipal Assessment Act. The matters for which revision is requested have been described in each application, and we will limit discussion to those matters. The statements that are made at this hearing are sworn testimony, and anyone speaking to such matters must be sworn in. Be advised, the comparisons of assessments of properties are not considered as evidence of market value by the Board of Revision. The Board of Revision is appointed annually by Council and is independent of it and the City Administration, and makes its decisions on the basis of the evidence provided at this hearing and issues a written order that will be mailed to all parties as soon as possible. Please note that the board's decisions with respect to an application may be appealed to the Manitoba Municipal Board if the matter pertains to an assessed value or classification, or to the Court of King's Bench if the matter pertains to an application for exemption from taxation. And should you wish to appeal, information to do so will be included with our order. With respect to the hearing process, I will confirm the points of appeal with your property to be addressed with each applicant following the swearing in. We will then have the assessor's testimony followed by questions that the applicant may have, and then the applicant's testimony followed by questions. Each side will have an opportunity to summarize if we wish to do so. Once all the evidence upon an application has been brought forward, the applicant may leave. The person will repeat for each item on the docket today, and the session will close after all applications have been heard, and the board will deliver it in private and make its decisions. You'll receive the board's decision by written mail as soon as possible. As information, all public hearings are live streamed, recorded, and will be forming part of a public record. And today we'll be hearing items 2 through 7 on the docket today. Mr. Kumar, you can please affirm the assessor and the applicant's testimony at this time.
Yes, Mr. Chair, thank you. Madam Assessor, please state your full name.
Marina Tenawara.
Thank you. Do you affirm that the evidence you are about to give by this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do, thank you.
Thank you. Please say. Mr. Reimer, please state your full name. Thank you. Do you affirm that the evidence you are about to give by this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? I do. Thank you. Please say.
Okay, Ms. Tenawara, the first item we're dealing with today is the property at 2130 McPhillips, and you can proceed when you're ready.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Roll number 0500901810. Property address 2130 McPhillips Street. Property owner Lablo Properties West Inc. Property was originally valued at $30,218,000. Today, I'm making a recommendation to reduce value to $28,569,000 as calculated in the income valuation page submitted as the recommendation.
Can you please give me that amount again, Ms. Tenawara? I didn't get it the first time.
Our numbers again.
28 million. You said
569,000.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, go to the income page, or the income workup. You can take us through that, please.
Through the income workup.
Okay, thank you. You can see my original valuation in page number 8 in my original briefs, and you will see valuation workups I submitted in recently as the separate recommendation document. Changes are little bit cap rate change
Okay.
and the rental rate change only. The rental rate change on some units, few units. You can see the differences in the two workups.
Okay. So, maybe I've got the wrong thing here. So is there a new workup that we've got, Jazz?
Yes, Mr. Chair, is the same file name and labeled as recommendation at the last. So you
Okay.
will see
Okay. I'm
three
sorry.
files for the same item.
Okay. Okay, I'm there now, Ms. Tenorara. Can you please take us through it? I'm sorry, I didn't. I've got the recommendation with me now. So we're dealing with a kiosk here, correct?
Yeah, we have a kiosk and the neighborhood shopping center. It's a two-side paper.
Yes. Okay, I see it. Okay, so I see you get to 28,569,000. Thank you. Is this acceptable to the applicant?
So, Mr. Chairman, in all cases this afternoon, I'm in agreement with the values, but because of timelines, I don't have instructions. I fully anticipate getting those instructions. And I can state for the board's information, I'm in agreement with that value.
Okay. Any question, Mr. Arnell?
No questions, thanks.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Branson, do you have any questions?
No questions, thank you.
And I don't either, so thank you for that. And
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
There's a multiple point for this item. So there's a liability to taxation and classification as well.
We'll just seek confirmation on the issue concerning the issues of liability and classification at this time. Thank you.
Okay, so you're withdrawing the issue of classification then?
Well, asking for confirmation. We're not pursuing that issue at this time.
Okay, you're not withdrawing it though?
Well, I didn't do it ahead of time. I suppose I can if we want to take a 5-minute break. I'd forgotten about that issue originally. I can withdraw it if you prefer to have me do that.
Well, I'll ask you to just undertake to do it, and we'll go on, and you can actually.
Oh, sure. Yep. We'll do.
Okay.
Should we go for a break, Mr. Chair?
I'm sorry.
Should we go for a break?
No, I indicated that as long as the applicant's undertaken to send withdrawal, we can proceed at this time, and he'll send it in due course, and you'll have that, Jazz. Is that okay?
Okay, that's right, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so now we have our next matter then. Which is 2140 McPhillips Street.
That's been withdrawn, Mr. Chair.
And that's been withdrawn?
Yes.
And you have a formal withdrawal, Jazz?
Yeah, we got that.
Okay, so we'll skip that then. Great. So we next then go to 2200 McPhillips Street. And I see that we have recommendation on that too. And I see that the recommendation is for 7,973,000, and I see how it's been worked up. And I understand then from the applicant that all recommendations have been accepted, so that has been accepted. We've already have the confirmation.
Subject only to decline instructions, which I anticipate to get. Indeed,
Correct.
I'm in agreement with the value.
Okay. Mr. Arnall, any questions?
No, not at this time, thanks.
Thank you. Ms. Branson, do you have any questions?
No, thank you, Mr. Chair.
I don't either. So I see now we have a new value then of 7,973,000. Okay. And we next go to 791 Leela Avenue. And I see we have a recommendation now for 5,990,000. And again, we have a confirmation from the applicant that without instructions, he's going to recommend that it be accepted. He's accepting it on that basis.
Yes, I am in agreement.
And we see how that was arrived at with the calculations in the recommendation. So again, board members, Mr. Branson first, do you have any questions? I'm sorry, Ms. Branson, do you have any questions?
No questions, thank you.
Mr. Arnall, do you have any questions?
No, thanks. No good.
Okay, I don't either. So and we see how this worked out. So thank you very much. And that takes us to 841 Leela Avenue. And again, we have a recommendation. And I see that it's for a value of 23,654,000. And again, the applicant's agent is undertaken to get his principal to accept that amount, and he's agreed with it on that basis. And so we see how it's been worked out. Mr. Arnall, do you have any questions?
No, none at this time, thanks.
Okay, Ms. Branson?
No questions, thank you.
And I don't either, so thank you very much for that. And this is going a lot, I spent a lot more time preparing for these than it's going to take to hear them. Now, on the last matter on McGregor, I have to advise that I am a personal friend of the principal behind K4, who's one of my oldest friends and does my income tax for me every year. So I wasn't going to hear this, but on the basis of the fact that there's a recommendation that's been accepted, I don't think that my participation is adverse. So again, we see how it's worked out on the recommendation to 1,250,000. And do you have any questions, Ms. Branson?
No questions, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Arnall?
None at all, thanks.
And I don't either, so thank you. So I think that this hearing is actually dealt with all matters that we have to deal with today. So we can close this hearing at this point and we'll deliberate and you'll hear our decisions very soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.